back again on Saturday morning here. I just wanted to go through, I'm doing a quick wipe on this tank. I'm going to be doing a lot of cleaning on the tanks and stuff today. But I got a good example of what we mean by biological filtration in our fish tanks when we're talking about that. And all the little organisms that we need and stuff. And here, I'll try and get it here. The gourami's in the way. But like you see all this stuff on the side of the glass right there? All that little fuzzy stuff? Sorry. All that fuzzy stuff on the side of the glass? That is what we're talking about when we say biological filtration. That fuzzy stuff there is all the little bacteria and stuff like that. I'm just trying to get this gourami out of the way. He keeps getting in the way here. But like all that fuzzy stuff right there, you see it waving around? That little fuzzy stuff there is the biological filtration. It's a bunch of bacteria and stuff like that. That's the bacteria and stuff that's eating the ammonia out of the water that the fish are causing by breathing and pooping and peeing in it. But that there grows over everything in your fish tank. And a lot of, some people might not understand that that's not algae. That's bacteria that we want, that's what's keeping the water good for the fish. This gourami just doesn't know what I'm doing here. He's like, oh yeah, what are you doing? He's right up in here. But yeah, I noticed that I could probably get a pretty good look at that sort of this morning and sort of get an idea, like a good view on that for you guys. Here, let's see if it'll zoom in on there, or not zoom in, but we'll back it up, and then and we got another gourami. Got another gourami up here. But yeah, all that little fuzzy stuff on there, I am wiping that off. I don't usually keep a light on this tank, so I don't really have to deal with a lot of algae growth, but I do get this biological growth. Oh, that's way too grainy. But that, I think I got some of it on there. And another little spot there was the edge of this pipe. You see that little white film along the edge of that pipe there? It almost looks like there's a little film around that pipe. That's the same stuff, the biological bacteria that we're talking about that we need in our fish tanks. When we talk about cycling a tank, that's what we're waiting to get, is some of this stuff, that bacteria to start growing. And then once you have this bacteria in the tank, your tank's cycled and it can handle some of the ammonias and stuff like that get built up in the tank. Of course, as your ammonias get broke down and turn into nitrates, they got to be removed from yourself or other means as plants and stuff too. But mostly it's left on us to pull those nitrates out ourselves, because yeah, we don't want the nitrates getting too high. But just a short little video on what we all mean when we have fish tanks, and what we're talking about is biological filtration. And now all the fish are blocking the light there. But yeah, all that on the back. I haven't cleaned that side of the glass yet, so you can see it, right? But usually the back side there I won't clean either, and that's why it's all hazy like that. It's all that stuff just built up, because I'm not going to be cleaning the back side of this. Probably I'm going to do a background or something, I'm not sure yet, but sort of separate these two tanks as their own. And then I'm going to do facades and stuff, so all this stuff will be closed in eventually and stuff. You won't see any of it, and then I'll get pictures and posters and all that kind of stuff that I'll put on all the ceiling that you can see, and then I was thinking, after seeing a few videos, I'll probably get some stuff here on this, so as I'm walking around and you're always looking at that, there's something to see other than just that big silver thing there. But yeah, I just short little skit there just to show you the biological filtration that we're talking about in our fish tanks, when we're saying you got to get those little organisms and bacteria and all that kind of stuff in your tank so it can handle the ammonias and stuff your fish put out. So yeah, as I was saying, I guess I forgot what I should say is, like, all this little fuzzy stuff, that's the job of your filters. That's basically the reason why we have filters on our fish tanks, is to give a home for all that fuzzy stuff that's on the glass there to live. So all that little fuzzy stuff, because we don't want it on on our glass and all that. It lives in our substrates, on all the decorations, and then in our filters. And our filters, let's see, there's multiple stages of filtration that comes in. Or it's hard to see. Oh, I guess I'm putting my hand on the wrong side. There. I guess you can't really see, but yeah, it just comes in here. I got like pot scrubbies and then a foam mat, and then it goes through another stage of different stages of other mat, like it's a thicker mats or whatever, some filter floss, and I have it staged so like it's a thin filter floss, so it forces the water up and through everything using the material that's in there, and then it's a bunch of biological filtration there. But that is what we're doing in our filter, is we're giving this stuff, all that fuzzy stuff on the glass, a place to live, right? And that's the job of your filter, and that's why we have the filters on our fish tank, is all that microorganisms, bacterias, all that kind of stuff that you see on the glass, that's all fuzzy. That's what's living inside of our filters. And then that's what's, you know, breaking down all the bad stuff in the water. That's what that stuff eats, is all the stuff that the fish put out. But I just thought I should mention that too, is that's what we're doing in our filters, is we're growing all that stuff. We're giving us place for a lot of that stuff. The more we can house, the better, right? So, but yeah, I just thought I'd run that by you too, or whatever. I just, you know, trying to remember everything all at once, and it's, then you're like, oh, geez, you know what? I should mention this. Oh, geez, you know what? I should mention that. But, you know, eventually I'll get it all at once. But there's so much information all the time that you just, it's hard to think of things that you want to show and stuff, right? But I thought this would be really interesting to show, is that little fuzzy stuff on the glass. That is all the organisms and bioorganisms and microorganisms and all that stuff that we're talking about when we're cycling a tank. Is we need to give time for that stuff to develop. And once that stuff develops in your fish tank, you're golden. Start putting fish in. Right? But if you're going to go and jumpstart a tank, then you got to be pulling out and changing water nonstop, because there's none of that stuff growing in there yet. It takes time for that to grow and establish itself, and that's what you don't want to be messing around and cleaning out your filters too much. You need that stuff in your fish tank. So if you clean your filters out and keep your tank super clean and always clean and too clean of a fish tank is a bad fish tank. That's not, it doesn't have any of the organisms it needs to sustain life in the water. So I just thought that would be an interesting thing, like I said, to show, just because I could get a pretty good little view on this stuff off of the glass here, right, with that light, and you can sort of see all the little fuzzies on there. And that's the stuff that makes the magic happen for us to, you know, be able to keep the fish in the tanks. But pretty neat stuff once you know it all and you can put it together, and you know, you get to enjoy fish. Like, look at this guy. He wants to eat my finger. He wants to eat my finger. It's a fun fish. I'm glad we took him in. He's definitely got a personality now that he knows we're food and that we're, you know, we're the ones here. He's becoming quite the fun fish. Yeah, they're all over here. I've already fed them, so I'm not giving them any more food. But okay, well, I just wanted to make sure you know, that's a pretty important thing about the fish tanks, is that biological. See, I still have to wash the outside of the glass and all that stuff still, so I'm gonna get busy working here. Okay, we'll talk to you guys in a bit. Bye.